concert with Randy and Ada, who's another great, reed player. We're talking about The Soprano because I'm a big fan of The Soprano.
Ah.
I used to love to listen to Wayne Shorter a lot.
Oh yeah.
And Ada, who's another.
Yeah, I just getting the mute off, but now everyone can hear us on the multi-city launch. Okay. Well, I'm glad I got. Okay. Yes, I'm very glad I got Annette and William back together. It's been a long time for you guys too, right? So okay, let me just restart again. Just say thank you everyone watching live, and thank you everyone for coming. Universal Language multi-city launch here with the beauty of technology. We have Miami, we have New York City, Manhattan, we have San Francisco with Annette, and we have New Jersey with percussionist William Ruiz. So let me just introduce everybody. My name is Jason Kapp. We have more friends coming in. Hey everybody, welcome, great. Hey, how you doing, Ted? Okay, great, welcome. So we have our special guest for the Universal Language Room. First of all, I'm Jason Kaplan of the Bridge Institute, and I want to welcome everyone for coming. Give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah, it's really great to see all the faces. Some people I haven't seen since a couple years. And we're here with our host, Shoshana Sanker. So round of applause for Shoshana for hosting. We really thank you. Beautiful home and a great setup with the technology here. The Universal Language Room concept we've been building for the past 20 some years, as my friends William and Annette can tell you, as I've known them for a long time. And Dave Liebman I met in 2004, where he played at a small synagogue called the Bridge Shul at the top of Washington Heights on the bridge to George Washington Bridge to New Jersey. So today is really special because we have received funding, and we are funding facilitators in these different cities to have a Universal Language Room where they're at. So today, I want to really welcome a special guest to my right here, Mr. Boo Mitchell. Yes. Yeah, legendary engineer, friend, and just all around superb person. And I couldn't think of anyone better to start this with than with Boo, who we met in 2018. And this year we received funding from Rabbi Michal Bayo of East Valley JCC, and we called Boo because we couldn't travel because of what was going on in the world. And we did our first recorded Universal Language Room audio and video there at Royal Studios. So we really thank him for the partnership, and just another round of applause for him coming out today. Amazing, thank you, amazing. So I really want to just make the most of our time with our guests here in the multi-city launch and talk to them a little bit, and then we're going to interview Boo with Shoshana, and then Shoshana, Boo, and I are going to talk, and then we'll do Universal Language Room with everybody here who would like to participate with your instruments or with the instruments that we brought. So first, let me start by welcoming Dave Liebman, legendary saxophone player, and so many influences of jazz in education and performance. All the books he's written, everything that we've studied as jazz artists. We know in the jazz world, Dave Liebman is synonymous with the best of jazz and jazz education. He's devoted his life to playing the best in jazz and then teaching us. So Dave, we could just hear from you just about the beauty of jazz, or why you committed yourself to education, and I don't know, just thoughts on the beauty of improvisational moment.
Well, that's a lot there, Jason. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me. I should take that introduction with me and just show up after it's read to the public. Very good, I appreciate it, thank you. Jazz isn't about the moment. There's no yesterday, there's no tomorrow, which with jazz. And when you're playing, you're supposed to be in present time, which is a great exercise, no matter what line of occupation or whatever that goes on. And I was first enamored, of course, by Coltrane. I saw him play when I was 15 years old at Birdland. And those four guys, Elvin Jones, McCoy Tyner, and Jimmy Garrison, along with John, were really making some dramatic, incredible music that a 15-year-old could feel. Certainly still figuring it out, but the feeling of it was so honest and true. It attracted me. And I kind of pursued it, like any young teenager, oh, I play saxophone. Oh, okay, great. But when I get a little older, by the time I was 18 or 19 or 20, I realized that I really want to try to do this, meaning that you want to build a situation where you can play. Because I think Ada she just said, everybody wants to play, and that's not everybody, but people want to play. And you have to facilitate that with activities and with reaching out and with philosophy, and it's not just like give me a blues and F, So I've been very lucky. I was very fortunate to get my mentorship with Elvin Jones and Miles Davis. And that was the double lesson right there, how they handled the music, what they were about, and the connection between their music and the outside world. So I think that's it. That's good for now, Jason.
Yo, that's excellent. Thank you, David. Thank you, Leaves. Everyone, round of applause for David Liebman. So happy you could join us. And so let me ask to move on to Annette A. Aguilar. Annette, we've been friends for a very, very long time, and you've also dedicated yourself to education and music. And we talked about the 4 notes and the permutations. So I thought you'd talk a little bit about, how much you've dedicated your life to music performance education, a little bit about the 4 notes that we talked about.
Well, thank you. Very interesting, because some of my students in the Bronx at Celia Cruz Bronx High School Music are into improvising, and they've been using their ears a lot. I mean, they read in an orchestra, stuff like that, but we're doing Latin jazz and jazz with them. And one particular student is gravitating a lot to the vibraphone. And, I always think that in terms of general music teaching, pre-K to 8th grade, I taught for many years, children love the piano. And what's really good about it is the patterns of the 5 black keys, 2 black keys. I mean, the black keys with 3 black keys, 2 black keys, 3 black keys, 2 black keys, and what's in between them. And we do that with the vibe. So what's really good about permutation is the 4 notes that say, this one particular student was, he was looking at Spain, the Chicoria piece, and he was already improvising. So we took the 5 notes and we looked at one as B, and the second one on the 2 black keys, with the first one would be C sharp, third one we did D, and then the 5th one we did F sharp. So we only had to focus on that, and then specific rhythms, because it's just like natural, especially for children and young people, rhythm, and for everybody, basically. You show them a pattern. It's our lives are based on call and response, because when we speak, I call, you respond. And the thing we were having a conversation earlier today, Jason, we were talking about the clave, which is really, a lot of times people think too much about it, but it's also just a call and a response in terms of the rhythm. There's a call and the answer, right? I just called you. So it lines up. I think a lot of it has to do how it's presented, and in a non, like an open type of situation that's inviting. And I was having this conversation with David about we're doing a concert where he just did a concert at an Inwood church called Trinity Church, and we're having a concert, but then we're also opening it up for people to come and play, and just try to make them feel comfortable, of not giving them the thesis or the doctorate of how many notes, because I think a lot of times schools have, even though I went to school, I got a couple of masters, but it just, like, sometimes it's too much information. And the meditation is what can help you get into your own pattern of life. And that's a practice that I think a lot of us, that helps, I think. It's helped some of my kids. They just let them speak naturally. Does that makes any sense to everybody?
Yeah, definitely.
That makes a ton of sense. Everyone, just round of applause for Annette A. Aguilar. Really, the point that we want to make is that when we do the Universal Language Room, there is a lot of music theory out there that is very, very important. But I think when people say, I have a little bit of time, I want to enjoy music, that's what the 4-note permutation that we're going to learn today is all about. Is to get into the music and enjoy it and love it with just 4 notes. So I really appreciate you making that point, Annette. So thank you very much. Let's ask Sruli Brooker. I think you have a handpan with you, Sruli, and I think you have a really interesting approach that we talked about using the permutations. We'd love to hear about that.
All right. Thank you, Jason. Nice to meet everybody. I'm sharing some really esteemed company, so it's a big honor to be here. So I grew up with Jason in Richmond, Virginia, and he and I discovered we discovered music basically around the same time, around 15. Jason picked up the guitar and I picked up the harmonica. We've maintained a musical connection and partnership for 31 years. So we've maintained a friendship too. So that's been great. And we always have a kind of synergy with stuff that we're getting into. So as Jason was sort of solidifying and discovering this universal language, I teach at a Jewish day school. A lot of the kids have special needs or are on the spectrum. And there was I think we see in general, a lot of children were affected because of pandemic. And the main thing that they really suffered from was a loss of connectivity, socialization and connectivity. And I think we've seen that drum circles are wonderful exercises for people to have connectivity and kind of learn the basics of improvisational music and jamming. So, anybody with limited musical experience could kind of pick up the jam with the drum circle. What I think is amazing is that Jason just, I think this 4 notes is kind of this universal language with the 4-note permutations, I think takes off what started with these drum circles. And I think you're adding those 4 notes onto it. You're adding a melodic component that I think is it's super connective and healthy. And I've been taking this, I give my kids every day in class time, I give them a little time to just like express themselves, either, drawing on the dry erase board or doodling, whatever. And I let kids play on my drum, or I'll play on it, whatever. But I found that this has been a really amazing instrument. These are just, I think William's going to get into it a lot more than me, but this handpan is, I think these were just invented in 2007. And so this idea of being able to take something that, works like a drum, but add a melodic component is, I think is really amazing. So I just started, this is a new thing for me, especially coming from a harmonica. So anyway, this is the A major scale, and Jason was showing me the notes of CED and just CEDG. So I just started learning with this handpan, just playing with it, whenever, just for me to be able to pick it up and just come up with something that quickly, I think that's a testament to the technique. And so since Jason showed me, I've just been playing around. I can't wait to bring this into the classroom fully with, as we're working out all the details together.
Amazing. A round of applause for Shirley Brooker. He hasn't told you the whole piece about working in therapy and working with the kids and using music to really add to that connectivity. He's just touching on today. And of course, we want to hear more from him. We're going to do more interviews and so forth. But that was a great introduction to how I did have this discovery of the 4-note permutation and how to teach it. But I love giving it to friends and colleagues to say, what could you do with this? And it's been great to hear from Annette and Shirley. Now we'll hear from William about what direction they're taking it in. So I really appreciate you coming on, Shirley. We've been friends for a very, very long time, and we'll continue. I'm never letting go of you. So William, if you can talk, I don't know if the lighting's good, or if you can pull a camera closer to yourself, and just, yeah, go ahead and start talking.
How you doing? So I'm William Ruiz. I'm a professional percussionist and drummer. To cap on a few things, just basically on what everybody said, improvisation in the moment now, Mr. Liebman, then Annette talking about call and response, and then truly talking about, just basic things that you do to improvise with these permutations. It's cool, and it makes it easier for everyone who's afraid because they're not a master. And that's the thing, there are many virtuosos, incredible people out there, but the people who need the music most, who need to understand and learn the universal language, the basic stuff, is everyone else that's suffering in the world since the pandemic. Me and Jason met 22 years ago, before 9/11, and we've been connecting on music, and that's how we connected. So universally, me and Jason connected, and everyone I've met along the way, I met through playing music. So, it's a very important thing, especially for the kids. The kids, young adults, seniors, everybody could use a basic methodology of how to express and release their negative energy and increase the positive energy. And yes, it's very cool, like Shirley was saying about, like you play a drum and it has a pitch, and certain drums can be tuned to pitch, but the handpan, the tongue drum, marimba, xylophone, these instruments, you can play composition on them. You need a few handpans to get all the notes, but and so that adds a component that I think it's because people need melody. Drumming can be kind of abstract for people. So, for your layman, for the everyday person. So I think, using permutations to teach basic 4 beats, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Simple. And so say we're in this group and I do. Now you can take those same 4 notes if you have the same 4 notes, or if you have a different instrument, you don't have those notes, or you're playing a drum or you're playing a guitar. So you're basically playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And so already you're communicating, and it's kind of call and response. Like Annette was saying, clave, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And the simpler people make the teaching to whoever is at the the universal language room session, the easier and more inspired people will be. And as time passes, Jason has all kinds of permutations that can get more advanced when people get to that level. But no one needs to feel insecure. Everybody's like, oh, I can't play the drums. But the reality is our heart is beating. We come into the world drumming unconsciously. And we realized after a while that we were drumming, and that if we weren't drumming naturally, our heart wasn't beating, we wouldn't be here. So anybody can play, but you have to become unparalyzed. Our fears, our insecurities, the stress of life, all these different things are holding us back. And so for me, traveling around, like today, I'm in the back of my pickup truck because I'm on the road. So the Universal Language Room is a mobile room as well. You don't have to be in one particular place. Just like Tatsuya Nakatani, he travels all over the United States in his van, and he's doing concerts with his gongs and his way of performance and improvising, and so you can reach a lot more people that way.
William, that is excellent. We'll give him a round of applause. I just want to make sure that, William, if you could play your hand drum for us, just go for it a little bit.
Me, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
That's very good. That's why we hired him.
Give me the sunshine. Got to bring that sunshine. Positive vibes.
Yeah, it was excellent. Everyone, round of applause for all of our guests. Dave Liebman, Annette A. Aguilar, Shirley Brooker, William Ruiz. Thank you all for coming. In the interest of time for the program, we want to get to the interview with our special guest, Boo Mitchell, interviewed by Shoshana. We want to thank all of you for coming. And the reason that they're on here is because these facilitators, Annette, Shirley, and William, are sponsored and funded by the Bridge Institute, and more people like them and more funding to them we would like to have done. So that's a lot of the reason that we asked them to come on as guests, for the great work they're doing. And what also they've told us is with their students and with people they're meeting, they're getting great response, great response with the system. So thank you coming. And then just another really big acknowledgement for Dave Liebman, jazz great, jazz legend.
Master, yeah.
Master legend. And really, William and I, we've just talked about when we first met Lieb and we first started working with him, how just cool it was, generous with his time. and as great and as much as we talk about, he's just so down to earth and
Yeah, and warm-hearted and incredible on that instrument.
incredible. So that is also to say that Annette A. Aguilar, same league, same amazing educator and musician at the highest level. William Ruiz, highest level musician. Cerulean Brooker and I, big fans of all these people, and we aspire to be at the highest level of musicianship. But we're also huge fans. I think I can speak for Cerulean when we say that.
No doubt. Annette has some serious hands on her.
It's just serious stuff.
Well,
Serious.
I keep learning.
Yeah, no doubt.
Every
That's what
day
keeps me fresh.
is a learning day.
No doubt. I met Annette. I started off as her stagehand.
Before 9/11.
Yes, I met a lot of people before 9/11.
I met William Ruiz on the A train at 42nd Street. That's a true story. Yeah, I was running for the next train, switching from the 1 to the A or something like that to get up to Washington Heights, and I heard him playing what you just heard. And I said, "Let that train door close. I must speak to him." So the train left, and I ran over to him, and I was like, "He's like, hey man, yeah." He's like, "Well, I'm playing right now." I was like, but it's so good. Can I talk to you? No, just leave a card. So I left a card. He was working, and we've been friends ever since. So thank you all. If all of you wouldn't mind going on mute for the next part, you're certainly welcome to stay or watch on YouTube, or please stay. Well, right now we're going to turn the program over to our special guest. Round of applause for our special guest today, Boo Mitchell. And our host and interviewer, Shoshana Sanker, will come up, and I'll make sure round of applause for Shoshana. And a big round of applause, please, big round of applause for our sponsors today, Gwen and Stephen Martello, who came in the door. Thank you, Stephen and Gwen. We're so thankful for your sponsorship and for your support. That wouldn't have happened without you. So I had the idea, and I said, well, how can I make all this come together? And that was Stephen and Gwen. So thank you so much, dear friends and big supporters. So with that, let me turn it over to Shoshana and Boo, and I think I'm going to zoom in a little bit with the camera, and I'll let you get started. Yep.
I mean, we're both lovely, so obviously. One of us?
One. Okay, and just a little bit more. I just don't want to bust the wire. And to the right. That looks good, right, everybody? Right. Yeah, okay, good.
Oh, thank you. Good, approved. Boo, hi. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Everybody's been very excited. There's been lots of talk, so we're happy to have you here. We're going to grill you, but it'll be great because we're going to share all the wonderful things of all these fine people. So we know, I think a lot of us know, that you got started in a musical family. You guys
Yes.
have a ton of history in music. When did you, in particular, though, outside of like, okay, my parents are doing this, other people in my family, when did music get you?
Oh my God, music got me at a young age. It was always around me. And I think probably by the time I was 7 or 8, I started messing around on the piano and stuff. Took piano lessons, didn't really like it, and I remember my dad came home and showed me how to play Ray Charles, What I'd Say, and I was like, oh, yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah, right. So that's when everything kind of turned and really amped it up from there.
Absolutely.
Okay, tell us about the history of Royal Studios. That I had the honor of coming there, and it was wonderful, and it felt so authentic and so Memphis. So give us a little bit of history of the studio.
So Royal was started when Elvis Presley and Johnny Cash left Sam Phillips in '56, the famous $1 Million Quartet photo. Elvis's bass player, Bill Black, there was an engineer, Ray Harris, and a producer named Quentin Claunch. They all wanted to do their own thing too. So at that time, Sun was the only commercial studio in town. And so Elvis's bass player and the other guys, they got with a local record store owner to buy the Royal Theater and turn it into Royal Studios and High Records. And that was in '57. Kind of a bunch of instrumental rockabilly hits with Gene Simmons and Bill Black. And my grandfather, Willie Mitchell, came there in '58 and started recording what would become the early Memphis sound with the horns and stuff. So all this crazy history. The Beatles rehearsed there in 1964 on their first North American tour because Bill Black was their opening act, and they stayed there a week and ate a lot of barbecue, apparently.
That's what you do in Memphis.
So Pop eventually started engineering his own records by 1964, and he eventually bought into Royal and High Records by 1970. The engineer that was there was kind of a backwards thinking person, so Pop bought that guy out. Changed the way Royal looks, discovered Al Green around 68, cut his first hit in 70, Tired of Being Alone. And from 1971 to 1975, Pop produced 6 consecutive #1 albums on Al Green, 7 consecutive million-selling albums, making Reverend Green the only Memphis artist to have 6 consecutive #1 albums. At the same time, he's recording people like Ike and Tina Turner and Bobby Blue Bland and Chuck Berry and Ann Peoples, Otis Clay, all these amazing artists. So the record company that was housed there, High Records, they sold it in '77. And Pop continued to work for the guy that they sold it to up until the early '80s, and he was like, let me buy the studio. So he bought the studio around '83, and all through the '80s and '90s, a lot of people like Tom Jones and Skaggs and De La Soul and just all kind of crazy people. And Pop eventually, he passed away in 2010. And when he did, me and the family, we wanted to kind of take the studio to the next level because it was, people know us from the Al Green records and all the soul stuff. And I was like, well, we want to, be able to do everything. So since 2010, we've recorded Wu-Tang Clan, another Keith Richards record. We did the Bruno Mars and Mark Ronson hit Uptown
huge.
Funk with that whole album, Silk Sonic. We got our first country Grammy nomination with Brandy Clark a couple of years ago.
Amazing. It's like a who's who of like everybody for every decade who's been in the industry. You guys have worked with.
Snoop Dogg, Drake, T-Pain's been in there hanging out. There's a bunch of them.
It's a fun place to be, right? And you love what you do, so it's
I
like
really
a win-win.
do. I really do. Yes,
Right.
it is.
So if we talk about all these amazing things that happen, I would imagine that it's also some challenging parts to it too. Not just with logistics, but perhaps artists or like just getting everything to work together. Can you talk about maybe some of the little everyday kind of things?
Yeah, the everyday things. The building is over 100 years old because the building has been there since 1915. It started as a silent movie theater, so there's always building challenges. And we use a lot of vintage equipment, which has its own set of challenges with maintenance and whatnot. And for the most part, the Royal is a very disarming place because when you walk in, it has such a magical vibe, and it feels very homey,
And
and warm.
Yeah, cozy.
And so sometimes, if we have an artist that may start being a little difficult, or the people are being a little difficult, normally by 3 days it's like
chill.
everybody's chilled out.
Okay, it's good. It works that way. It's like a magical place
Exactly.
that only produces amazing music, but amazing humans also can come out of it. Right.
Amen.
Okay, so tell us about a little bit. We talked a little bit about Jason's Universal Language Room. Tell us about how you sort of got involved and what you think about that.
Well, I did my first project with Jason, I guess it was 4 or 5 years ago, and it was just amazing because he was taking these like funk and soul records and putting Hebrew hymnals on top of them, and I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Right. Yes.
So we just really hit it off instantly, and we've done a lot of amazing things together. He's shown, opened me up to a whole new world of music and spirituality.
Yeah.
It's just been an incredible
It's
journey.
been a really good collaboration, and I think the feeling is mutual for
Yeah,
everybody, right?
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so you mentioned before you play keys, you learned how to play piano.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about, not that you just produce and record the music, but that you also participate in it actually playing.
Yes, and that's something that it's so funny because my life is like everything brings me back to something.
Right, full circle.
Yeah, so I started out playing keys, and then eventually, by the time I was 17, I was a rapper. You know, like in 1987, I think. And so I stopped really playing keys a lot, and just recently I have been producing records and playing more keys, you know, and it's just
Awesome.
like, I mean, I played a gig last night with my son and another artist.
Yay!
So it's been, I've forgotten how much fun it was, because as a producer, I'm normally calling more qualified keyboard player like a legend like Charles Hodges
Okay.
or Lester Snell,
Okay.
which I still do, but it's pretty cool to be able, you know, there's something about playing music that is just connects you to a higher power, I think.
Yeah, you feel it throughout everything.
Yes.
Well, that's fun. Good. I'm glad you're playing again, because you're probably better than you think you are. Like, maybe you're being humble, but I'd imagine after everything that you've been through in the industry, you're probably an awesome player also,
Oh,
not
thank
just
you.
producer. Okay, so tell us, we've name dropped a whole bunch of really cool people that you've been working with. What would you say are some of the top two, and what was the reason why that their name comes to you, that you've been able to work with?
Oh man.
I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Wow.
Sorry,
So
not
definitely Al Green would be one.
Legend.
And like the first time I was in the studio with Al Green in the capacity of an engineer or an assistant associate, whatever, we get him on the mic, you know, and we play and my dad's there, and he starts singing, but the microphone is here.
Oh boy.
And Al starts walking around holding his, he's like all in there, and then I jumped up to like go tell him, and my dad's like, no,
let him do it.
Let him do it. And he can project his
No
voice. He's
kidding.
such a master at projecting his voice that when you listen, it still sounds like he's right here, even though he's all over there. I'm like,
Unbelievable.
I've never seen anybody do
Right?
that. You know?
Yeah, that's
So
really cool.
definitely him.
Okay.
Man, there's a bunch of other ones. I really like working with Mark Ronson.
Super talented.
He's just he reminded me of working with my dad.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
that's a
He
nice
was
feeling.
very
Yeah.
calculated and very cool and open to suggest. You know, he was just like one of the most amazing producers I think that I've worked with.
That's awesome. Good, that's fun to hear. Okay, last question, and then we're gonna have some live music action, right?
We'll start.
Yeah. So tell us what you have in the works for Royal Studios. Who's coming in? What projects you have planned? Whatever you're allowed to share with us.
Oh goodness, so much. Let me see.
Oh, good, that's good.
I just made a record with Yeti Beats, who is Doja Cat's producer, and this 7-time Grammy-nominated R&B singer, BJ the Chicago Kid. That record should be coming out next year. I'm in the process of producing an album with Isaiah Sharkey, who is John Mayer's guitar player.
Yeah.
Sounds oxymoronish.
Right.
And he's also, he's a Grammy winner for playing on D'Angelo's Black Messiah
Oh, nice.
record, and
That's a
he's
huge album,
got
yeah.
some really
Yeah.
cool R&B stuff. Working on that, working with my son Uriah Mitchell on his album, and my assistant turned artist Lena Beach goes to Road. She's got an amazing album in the works too.
Busy is good.
Busy is good.
Okay. Can I hit you with one more that I just thought of? Who is somebody that you haven't worked with yet that you'd like to?
Oh man, people always ask me that, and I freeze. I'm like, I don't know. You know, honestly, I really like Joss Stone.
Oh my gosh, she's wonderful.
I like her voice, and I
Yes.
just, God, I would love to put some Memphis grit.
Right? She could totally do it too. She's
Oh,
a
yeah,
great lyricist also.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
let's make that happen.
Yep.
We're gonna like manifest
Put it
it.
out.
When this video gets published after we stream it, We're gonna have Joss calling you up, and it'll be amazing.
All right.
It's done. Boom, thank you. You're wonderful. I'm so grateful that Jason, where do you want to go from here?
I think we'll set up the universal room. We'll start
Let's do
going.
that.
Everyone, thank
So
you for the
people
interview
join
part
us.
of the. So we're gonna try and get like a semicircle going, and I need my magic box. Where's my magic box? Oh, okay. I'm gonna go grab the magic box, and we're gonna set this up. So I gotta think about where to put this. So okay, for those watching at home, let me back this up. We're gonna set up the camera, and we're gonna do a universal language room right here. So stay tuned, and we're gonna get this in more of a semicircle. We're gonna invite people to come up. And did you bring a bass?
Yes, I did.
But not an amp, right? I'll put you in this amp over here, right? Perfect.
We can put them
Yeah.
through the PA.
Or through the PA. We'll get it. Okay, great. Let me just go get the box. Let me get the magic box.
We reverse music teacher. Day one, we leave at 3 in the morning. Day 2, 4 in the morning. Like the last day of the session, we left at 2.
We're gonna do it. It's just that sometimes we'll make the magic around.
Yeah, it's just.
What? How can I help, Jason?
What's that?
How can I help?
Start passing these out.
Oh, yeah, that you could talk.
Yeah, like right around here. All right, who would like to be the first to try the xylophone? Anybody takers? You want to take? All right, let's take one of the young ladies. You guys sit together. Share, okay? All right. So glad you came. Thanks for having me. Jerry, do you want to try this? Xylophone? Okay, good. Adventure Fun. I think we're gonna go around this way. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah. Yep.
They'll figure it out.
All right, let's get it short for Shelly.
Huh?
Like this. All right, Shelly, you can sit here. You bring your saxophone over here? Yeah, bring it over here. Shelly, you can sit right there. Yeah, the boom mic. You want to come up? You don't have any didgeridoo. I'm going to turn this back this way. There we go. There's the crowd. Huh? Okay. Just don't step on the microphone. All right, we're almost set up, and I'm going to explain this whole system. Oh, here, Elena, can I get this to you? You can sit right there. Thank you so much. Don't get some more. Oh, no, in front, right here, that chair right there.
How are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. All right. Yeah, we're doing good. And I think we need a couple more instruments out. Let me see. I got this xylophone. And I'm going to show you the 4-note system, and we're going to get going here. Oh, yes. All right.
Good job.
Okay. What I need to do is I need to face the crowd a little bit too. I got the drumstick. Oh, I have one for you. Can you give Greg that one? No, I got one.
How are you doing?
I have it. Boom whacker.
Huh?
Let's see. I got the tambo.
I can't do that. I can't do music that well. Even though I was in
And
the
Boom,
band
can you put that into your PA?
that was years ago. Clarinet.
And Ted, if you want to sit right there.
I can sit right here.
Yeah, go ahead. And I'm going to make sure I stay on camera, but can I have a chair right here, Paul? Or I'm gonna push this. I'm gonna push this back.
think this is a little bit of a swap here.
Oh, it is too much? Okay, so maybe switch with Boo. You sit there and Boo will sit there.
Wanna swap with it?
Let me get a
Okay.
level on you.
Okay.
All right.
Play a little bit. All right.
Hopefully no wire pops out. All right. All right. We are almost there. This is like everyone jumping out of a clown car. All these people keep showing up and we keep rolling out. Okay, Sid, I'm gonna sit next to you so I can be on camera. And I wanna make sure everyone playing's on camera. Ariel, you wanna sit there? Well, that sounds good, Sid. Steve, you wanna sit right there? Yeah. Okay. And then Boo.
Last thing I played
Maybe another chair?
Yeah, one more chair for Boo. Oh, thank you, Annette. You're so great. Thank you, Annette. You're so great. I'm so glad you came. You made everything. You made a great program. All right.
Thanks, Jason.
So sad. Thank you, Annette.
I gotta leave, but thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, good. Yes,
All right. I'm going to sit here. Okay, thank you, Cerulli. Love everything you said. You added so much. Thank you, Cerulli. All right, everybody. So I'm going to pick up this little mallet, and I'm not going to have my back to the crowd just to talk to the screen, and I'm going to talk to everybody. So we have a 4-note system. And if you look at your keyboard and your xylophone and your saxophone and your bass, if you can play the notes C, D, E, F, right? So C, D, E, F. Just up the major scale. Da, 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 da. Yeah. And a permutation is that we change the last 2 notes. Okay, so we'll go slow. It's easier on a xylophone to see it. So we're gonna go C, D, E, F. And then C, D, F, E. That's the conversation already going on. That's when we talked about the clave column response, that's the melodic column response, okay? So we went, let's do that. Yo, I like that too. That was very good. There, yeah, she's already adding notes. We've got an independent thinker here. Someone hit the independent thinking button. Yeah. Okay. Gary, you didn't bring harmonica by chance? You did bring. Can you come sit with us and play? Yeah, yeah. You did bring. Good. Good. Diana, we're gonna have you pinch hit on piano too. Okay, so you're not getting out of this.
That's a really nice. 66. Yeah.
So we're gonna do those permutations, and we're gonna talk to each other the permutations. Now, the first one I did is just C, D, E, F, C, D, F, E. But we can also do C, E, D, F. Do you want to try that, everybody? C, D, E, F, C, E, D, F. Yep, and then C, E, F, D. Did everyone hear that? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 4, 3, and then I went 1, 3, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, right? Yeah. So how much theory have we learned right now? Zero theory. This is great. It's just numbers. How cool is that? Okay. So it's really fun. Now, if you have a boom whacker, Ariella Kaplan, can you hit the boom whacker? Let me see if I can get her on camera. Oh, there she is. Hi. Okay, can you hit the boom whacker? Just tap out a beat. Go ba 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 ba, and then respond to it. Da 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 da. Was that great? A round of applause. You're natural. Is that great? Good. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go around the room, and I'm going to kind of go off camera and just point to folks. Okay, you'll still hear me. I'm still here. No, actually, this lens is big enough. This fishbowl thing is big enough. This is the one time I like the fish lens. Okay, so Elena, if you could play the first one, and Shelly will respond. So you go C, D, E, F, and then you'll play C, D, F, E. Yeah. Okay. Was that cool? Is that conversation right there? Okay, so Boo, you'll say that to Steven. Steven responds. Good. Now, Ted, you play on the bass. Okay, and then I guess Elena, you respond to that. All right, everyone got that? Okay, just checking in. How much piano theory was that? Zero. It's just numbers. This is so great. Okay, so what we do is, you try to do the first thing is just to make eye contact with the next person over. So I will sit next to Ariella, and I'll look at her, and I'll go like this. Okay? and then you'll tap out. Good. Now, actually, if you can look at Elena and do that, and then look at her and then play. Okay, now if you can, Elaine, if you make eye contact with Shelly.
Okay.
And then play your little melody. Okay, and then Shelly will make contact with Boo. Good, and then Boo to Steven. Yeah. To Steven too. Good, and then Ted to me. And then me back. And then we keep going around and around. Does everyone get that? Okay?
Yeah.
All right, great. Now we got Gary. Ariel, can you move your chair a little bit closer to me? And we're just going to move this chair out for Gary to play harmonica. What key is your harmonica? Could it be in C by chance?
C.
All right, that worked out great. Perfect. How did I know? All right. I should have played the lottery. Actually, I did. I did. And that's why I'm here. I didn't win. I'd be here if I won. I'd be here. Okay, so can we hear C, D, E, F on harmonica? Beautiful. Okay, great. And then we're gonna. Can you permutate that? Can you change the last two notes?
Huh?
So can you go da 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 and then da 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 da? Great. Do the first two the same, then the last two switch them.
Okay.
Yeah. Try that again. Beautiful. A round of applause for that. Excellent. Excellent. Very good. Okay. So this is the part where we give up English. I'm just going to point to you, and you don't have to do anything. There's no rules. You can play anything. You can go. The permutations are just a start. Okay. Oh, and Norm, we have you on the boom record there. I'm sorry, I missed. Okay. So if Shelly,
Continue to be there.
you want to continue that way? He looked like the kid in the class who didn't want to be called on. I saw that look because I've talked before, and he's like deer in the headlights, like don't do it. Got him. Okay. Cool. Who hit the magic cool button? So which one is that? Yeah. It came alive. All right. So what I'm going to do is watch this. I'm just going to point to Elena, and when I point to you, then just come up with any melody. There's no right or wrong. Just anything. Just.
Okay.
And then Steve. Steven. Great, a round of applause. Is that good? Now it's really cool if you do that for a long period of time, like 10 minutes, which we won't do, but we'll do that on the next session. But if you do that for a long period of time, something starts to click. The music starts coming because I don't give anyone a chance to think. They think, oh, I'm not a musician, right? Musician. I should play a C major Mixolydian with a sharp 9. There's no chance to even think that at all, right? So, and then we have this, I hear a snare coming. So Leroy, why don't you come on up?
And Ava and Lila can do too.
Oh, Ava and Lila right behind. I'm sorry. Thank you for the heads up. So, you can stay right there. So I'll point to you in the crowd, okay? So, Aiden, let me hear some. Go ahead. Nice. Round of applause for Aiden. That was very good. Do another one. That was excellent. Very good. Excellent. Okay, Lila, let me hear you. Good. And a little bit more. Do. Now respond to go. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. Good. Good. Round of applause for Lila. That was very good. Okay, good. Leroy, let's hear a kind of percussive idea on there. Yeah. And I'll respond. Boom, 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 boom. And then you respond. Good. Okay, round of applause for Leroy. That was great. That was very, very good. Okay, good. So we'll go around the circle and then we'll do this again without talking, okay? So I'll start here. You young lady, go ahead. Nina. Sorry. Get Lila. Yeah, and then All right, round of applause. Is that good? Is that good? So what we're trying to say is if you can take this home, you can practice it at home and just let it flow. And just start with 4 notes. You don't have to take piano lessons or worried about, I mean, you should take piano lessons. I need to rephrase this in front of Diana, who has given me piano lessons and an amazing piano teacher. So round of applause for Diana. Really, thank you. Really. So, but I mean, if you feel intimidated and you need a place to start, you can start with 4 notes, and then you can say, oh, I could take lessons and I could study, and you can just let this thing roll. So what I do when I practice, I start with the permutations. That was the first 6, right? But then I don't really want to think about it. I just want to go. Okay, you know? So what's really neat is, and actually let's do this. If Ted, if you can give us sort of a bass line with just those notes, like a, I don't even know, like a boom. That's perfect, yeah. Now, any of those notes that we just went over today, you can just start playing those like you're in a band. So try, Elaine, just try it. Give it a whirl. Sounds like you've been playing for years, right? Is that great? Round of applause. That's really great. Keep that bass line going, please. All right, let's hear that with harmonica. Oh, yeah, drums. Yeah, go ahead. Nice, Gary. All right, round of applause. Good. All right, let's hear boo on that. Oh, we got the groove. Keep going. All right, now Boo can keep that going and Steven go on top of that. All right, round of applause. Yeah. Now keep that going, Ted, and let's hear Shelly. Use those same notes, C, D, E, F. That was what we call a burning solo. Very good. Did that feel pretty natural? Yeah, very good. All right, Norm, boom whacker solo. That's it, keep going. That's it. Yeah. Norm, right. Very good. Okay, Aiden, play it a little for us.
No beat there.
Keep going, it's great. Yeah, round of applause for Aiden. You must start music lessons, my friend. Listen to me. All right, let's hear you, Lila. Right in the beat, good, keep going. All right, round of applause for Lila. Isn't that perfect? All right, Ariella Catherine, go ahead. It's like you're reading Leroy's mind. Played right with the round of applause for Ariella. We're keeping her. Okay, so I'll play a little bit. And then Boo put some stuff behind that. We'll interact. All right, how about that? Pretty good, right? All right, round of applause for everybody. Now, I thought what we do is we try and keep this to an hour. So I thought, does anybody want to switch in and try that was listening, right? Like Shoshana, would you like to try? And can we switch out? Would everyone like to stand up, just turn around and hand it to somebody? Diana, do you want to try the piano? Want to try the piano from Boo? Yeah, can you hand that to Diana? Can you come into the audience? Oh, yeah. That was great, everybody. Was that fun?
Yeah.
You played that great. Remember how much we talked on Zoom?
Yes.
And now we're doing it in person?
That was
Sounded
great. I
Really
enjoyed
great.
that.
Oh, I'm so glad.
So good to see you. Yes.
I'm so glad you came.
Yes.
Good job, Jan. Oh, Jan did a great job. So, why don't you come here and give it to your side? Here we go. Good. You can have someone sit right there. Okay, we're gonna have round 2 here. I know some folks need to run over to Memphis. We're gonna time it better next time. All right, so I think we have everybody. Cecil, can you come into the circle there? And you're okay there, right, Gary? Okay. Did anybody else want to try? Did you want to try? You okay? You okay? Okay. Okay, great. All right, so let's now you have a xylophone. This is more fun, right? Yeah. All right. So try. Okay, great. Yeah. Great. So let's make some room. Everyone, just go around and say your name, please. Rebecca.
I'm Jan.
Jan. Cecil. Lila. Stephen. Ted. Okay. All right. Now, what's that? Okay. Which one? Okay. Oh yeah, we'll go over that. So, Jan, if you don't mind moving a little bit to your left, and then Rebecca will come in a little bit more. Yes, of course. Yeah.
I think we can go quite a bit more.
Okay, so the notes are going to be, Ariel, can you hit them for us? C, D, E, and F. Go ahead and play this. So can you find that on your xylophones? And if you can't see that, that's not right. That's not exactly right. C, E, F. Yeah, very good, Rebecca. Very good. Let's hear it on the saxophone, Stephen. There. Now, if I hadn't said it before, well, he's on camera. This is Steve Wachtel, our sponsor with Gwen Wachtel. See, Gwen, can you wave to the camera? There he is. Round of applause for Stephen and Gwen, please. Woo! All right, I'm gonna move the camera around a little bit as this goes. I'm gonna try and, Michal, can we move this in the back of the camera? So I'm gonna lift this and you can take that out of the way. Ended up that I didn't need that. We got most everybody on camera, and we'll turn it a little bit when we need to. Do you mind moving that when we come around to? Okay, here we go. All right, Ariella Kaplan. C, D, E, F, please. Any type of count. Good, okay. Diana, C, D, E, F. And then any type of permutation of that. Good, excellent, great. Okay, Rebecca. Nice, good ending. I like that ending. Good, Jan. Perfectly done. A rhythmic idea, Cecil? Perfect, excellent, great. Okay, Lila? Good. We all have sorrow. Do you see how songs are written? Did everyone hear that? That's how they did it. They were permutating, I'm guessing. Okay, Stephen, let's hear you do that. Same permutations? Yeah. Right. Very good, excellent. Round of applause, Stephen Wachtel. Woo! Okay, Ted, I know you heard that song now. We all have pain, we all have sorrow, so I need voice lessons. I can admit it. Someone to lean on. I don't know what that note is. Yeah, we have to. What is that note? And Keith, let me hear you on the boom whacker back there.
Four notes.
A rhythmic idea. Good. Do that again. Da-da, da-da. Very good. Then go bop, bop. After you do it, go da 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 bop, bop. Good. One more time. Yeah, look how fast they learn. Like sponges. Okay, great. So as we go around, you make up any type of that permutation. You can just do any type of thing, and we're going to start from one person to the next. Just try to make eye contact with the person to your left before you play your idea, okay? With those four, yeah. Yeah, or you can go anywhere you want. There's not. The four was just to get started. You can do whatever you want. Good. Okay, good. Now then to Rebecca. Good. Okay, Rebecca to Jan. Good. Good. Very good. Okay, Jan to Cecil. Okay, Cecil and Leroy will kind of jump in there too. Oh, I like that. That was very good. Good. Okay, let me go to Leroy in the back with a rhythmic idea. Ah, the Aiden Leroy team. Nice. Very nicely done. Excellent. Great. Okay, Kiwi. That was different from last time, right? Did you see that? That was different. Very good. Very good, Kiwi. Excellent. Okay, Steven. Yeah, that's why we hired it. Excellent. Very nicely done. Okay, and Ted. We have a bass line for a song, right? That sounds great. Excellent. Round of applause for Ted. In fact, let's keep that up. So, like we did before, and take a little bit more time now. Take maybe 20 or 30 seconds just to feel it out and kind of, well, we call it taking solo, but just let the permutations talk. And if you can give us a bass line kind of like that. Hit it a little harder. Keep going. And there. Yeah, that was good. Good. You can use all this next time. Go ahead, Diana. Try it out. Can we add Leroy with the drums? Keep a little bit more because I was getting the drums.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. That was it. Good. Round of applause. Yeah, that feel good? That was good. And let me just tighten up the bass and the drums a little bit, like boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba. That's it. Thank you. Very good. Boom, ba. Okay, Rebecca. You did perfect. That was great. Very nice. Round of applause, please. Yeah. That was great. Go ahead, Jan.
Yeah.
One more time. How's that, huh? Yeah, if you can sing it, then you know it's a hit. I'll be singing that all night. And then, all right, tambourine solo. You're kind of in the groove, though. You like the groove, right? You want to stay there? There you go. There you go, Cecil. Very good. Round of applause for Cecil. Woo! Very good. Let me see. Go ahead, Lila. One more time. Lila, you're playing great. Oh, wow. Oh, the Saint is going to need lessons. Okay, Kiwi, hit it. And hit it hard. There we go. Keep going. There he is. He's on camera. All right, round of applause for TV. Wow, natural. All right, let's hear some great saxophone playing from Stephen Wachtell. No pressure. I was having so much fun, so I'll play a little bit on the guitar. Let's see if it's... Oh, I'll go on too long. Okay, good. All right, is that good? So everyone, round of applause for yourselves. Yeah. Now I don't want to forget the bass player. So with that going on, just get that groove a little bit. Just a little bit of a bass solo. Got that drum solo again? There goes 10. Yeah. Round of applause for Ted.
Hey, Ted.
Well, this is kind of the exiting music. We want to thank Shoshana Sanker. Shoshana, thank you. Wow. Beautiful home here. As you can see, we opened up. We have her on the TV. We were able to bring everyone in from Miami, San Francisco, Manhattan, and New Jersey. That was Dave Liebman, Annette Aguilar, Shirley Brooker, and William Ruiz. And we had all of our friends here and our sponsor, Stephen and Gwen Wachtell. And thank all of you for coming. Round of applause for you for coming out. This is the Universal Language launch with our very, very special guest. Huge round of applause for Boo Mitchell. Good friend and just special genius engineer, amongst other things. And we're just so happy to hear his story and to do the interview, to hear from our facilitators across the country. We have a lot more people that we're speaking with, and we really want this to be a thing that people wake up every day and do in the morning before they go to work or when they come home, and just have connectivity and community and find your own individual voice in the music. And I think the world needs some type of thing for positivity. There are a lot of movements doing that, and we hope that Universal Language Room is one more of those. So thank you everyone for coming, and we really appreciate it. A round of applause for you for coming out. The website is ulr1.com, ulr1.com, and we're going to have more Universal Language Rooms and more artists, and hopefully we'll be funding more people throughout Memphis and other cities, and we wish you all a good afternoon and a good night. Thank you. We do the exiting music. Dum, 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 dum. Does everyone know the song now? Did you think of that today? You did? Yeah, that's the original. You did it. Very good. Yeah. Good night. Woo! Dum, 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 dum. Thank you, everybody. All right. That was great. Thank you. Was that good? That went well. Wow, got it all in an hour to 15. Good? Yeah. Thanks everyone for watching YouTube and coming on Zoom. We hope this YouTube broadcast went really well. Yeah, I think it did.
I love it. Thanks so much.
All right, let me cut that feed.
Believe it or not, that's buddy of mine.